Welcome to the 5th episode of Scooby in the Field. On this episode, our first topic is the soccer shocker of Club Chivas beating Barcelona 4-1.
It was an unbelievable upset. Barcelona had a 1-0 lead going into halftime. Then in the span of 12 minutes, it seemed like the whole Chivas team woke up and scored four goals led by Marco Fabian, who scored 2 in only 2 minutes, in the 60th and 62nd minutes.
Yeah, and the thing is, David Villa scores his goal right off the bat, early in the game, and you're looking at that and you go, looks like Barcelona's going to dominate once again. And then they come out at half only up 1-0, and then Chivas just comes out and dominates that game.
It was an unbelievable performance, and I think that this puts Chivas on the map for the great soccer clubs. Although, to be quite frank, Barcelona was missing its FIBA Player of the Year, Lionel Messi, also Daniel Alves, and Javier Mascherano, however you pronounce that. But regardless, Chivas won. Great upset, and
any one team can beat any team at any point. Mm-hmm. Any team can go out there and beat any team. Like Appalachian State beat Michigan when Michigan was rated in the top 5.
Since.
Yeah, any team can beat any team. That can happen. Does it mean that team will beat them even the next time or give them 5 more chances? They'll beat them again? No, I think this was a rare win. Yeah. Chivas played well that day, and they won. Any team can beat any team.
And it gives credit to the Mexican League and how good and how competitive that league is, and it puts them above the MLS in my mind.
Yeah, they do have some solid teams, although the MLS has consistently gave both Barcelona and Man U better team. You know, they gave them all, a run for their money.
Yeah.
And I think that still means the MLS has better teams because the MLS consistently gave those two teams a run for their money.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 goals in one game is a bit fluky.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't happen that much in soccer.
But in soccer it's like scoring 80, it's like scoring 90 points in a basketball game, the equivalent to.
Yeah, it's a good offensive game, but that's what I'm talking about. It's fluky. It's not necessarily... You don't see 4-goal games every day. You usually see at most a 3-goal game, and that's a great offensive performance.
You get Lionel Messi in there though. Next time Chivas and Barcelona plays, if Lionel Messi's playing, I don't think that it's going to be the same. Lionel Messi, like I said, former FIBA Player of the Year, man, so fast and so quick. And it's not just his speed and overall, but it's his touch and his ability to see the whole field.
Yeah, and you lose these key players, then you lose a big part of your team. And, speaking on the NBA aspect of it, a lot of these players, they're leaving their teams. During the lockout, they're losing and they're moving overseas.
Yes.
What do you think about all that?
I don't think that it's quite big yet. It is definitely a interesting thing to talk about. The only player, though, that has left that is a big-time all-star is Darren Williams, and then Nicholas Batum, not an all-star, but definitely an NBA starter, plays for Portland. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8 players that are leaving to play in Europe are actually foreign-born players, and 3 going back to play for their home countries.
Yeah, this is really something I think is getting a lot of hype. It isn't necessarily that big of a deal. For example, everyone's been talking Kobe's going to leave.
Yeah.
I don't really think Kobe's going to leave. There's not enough financial compensation for him. If he leaves to Turkey and they pay him in the typical Turkish dollar, he's only making about $500,000 a month with that contract they're giving him. I know that sounds a lot to the average Joe, but he makes over $2 million a year $2 million a month for the Lakers. Yeah. That's not exactly a pay raise for him. And Darren Williams going over there for $500,000. That's just basically him saying, I want to make some money during the lockout. It's still not that big of a deal. And players like Dwight Howard, they've said, no, we're not going.
Until one of the big 3 leaves, meaning Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, or actually the big 4 with Dwight Howard and LeBron, until one of those big 4 leave, all of this is hype. I'm not selling it yet, but I'm not exactly buying it. However, if Kobe goes to China, which is one of the largest markets, most populated country on earth, if he goes and plays in China and gets the Chinese interest into the game, you could be talking about a lot of money for the NBA if Kobe is able to put his face on basketball.
Yeah, with the China situation, Yao Ming has extended that brand, but Yao Ming never really made a significant impact in the league. They need someone to come in and make that significant impact, and Kobe going over there might do that. And that might also open up the door for more players because someone like, say, LeBron or Dwayne Wade or Chris Paul might not want to go overseas because they don't want to be the first player of, significant stature in the league. No disrespect to Darren Williams, to go over.
Economically, one of the most flourishing countries around, but it's gonna have to take a big name, not just Darren Williams, but one of the faces of the NBA to make an impact with the overseas.
Yeah, and players need to go somewhere other than Besiktas, the Turkish club that has been trying to court Kobe Bryant and has already courted Darren Williams and previously courted Allen Iverson. It needs to go somewhere other than this. This can't be like a minor league team or, a summer league team where players go over to because the NBA is locked out. That's all it's going to do is hurt the overseas brand.
This has to be serious competition, and the guys are going to go over there. They're not going to just dilly-dally around and just, dunk a few balls. They're going in to play as if this is a real season until the NBA collective bargaining agreement is solved.
And another thing about overseas play that's much different from, American play in terms of the financial compensation. They do pay for a car and house, but I've spoken with people who have played overseas. None of that money is guaranteed. If they think you've played poorly, they may not pay you. So, say Darren Williams has an off week. They might go, you're not getting paid this week. You had an off week. We're not paying you to have an off week. So, there's a lot more risk that goes into playing overseas, and that's what's scaring players. Like also Amari Stoudemire, that's I'm not going overseas.
Yeah. Well, speaking of competition-wise, Kevin Durant, he's been playing basketball in the streets of Rucker Park. Do you think that playing in the streets and playing around America with all these little different club teams, do you think that it would be better competitively to stay here and get all these college kids to play as opposed to going over here? What do you think is better? Playing in the USA on the streets or going over and making the big bucks overseas?
I've seen these players in New York play, up close and personal. Those players are better than most international players. These international teams have people who couldn't make it in the NBA, and Michael Beasley was also playing in one of those games where Durant was playing. So there's also NBA players playing in that. You're still getting that competitive drive, and you're still playing a lot. LeBron has been playing in a couple of summer leagues in the LA area. You're getting good, solid competition, and you're just keeping your skills sharp. You don't necessarily need to improve if you're a Kevin Durant or you're a LeBron James, but you need to keep your skills sharp, and that is what they are doing.
But then again, are you getting better if you're scoring 62 points like Kevin Durant did, because he scored 62 points, and I believe it was one of the Rucker Park games? Are they getting better?
He scored 66 points, and you can't possibly get worse scoring 66 points. You maybe not better, but that just shows that if you're playing at your best, and he's playing against lower level competition, all that, he is doing well. I don't think that just playing these other guys means much at all.
So what do you think is better? I honestly think that going over, playing in Europe, not just economically to spread the popularity of basketball, but for competition-wise and keeping these guys up to snuff, I think that it would be much better to play in Europe as opposed to all these park leagues.
Well, it depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
If we're talking about individual player, then it's better to play in America because then you're not risking injury. You're not doing that. But if we're talking about the whole NBA brand, it'd be better to go overseas. You get a little more popularity. That would be good for that sport. But if you're a player, for example, Amari Stoudemire said, I'm not going overseas, my back hurts, I don't want to play real rough basketball and get my back even worse. Yeah. He's saying, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to make myself in a worse situation.
Yeah,
Well, now we have a new segment for you guys. We're going to do predictions at the end of all our shows starting today on key matchups throughout the week. Our first matchup, Yankees-Red Sox, happening today. What do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to be the Red Sox taking the rubber match game for nothing. Josh Beckett is on the mound versus Garcia for the Yankees, who the Yankees have actually got the second best ERA in all the American League. But you're talking about playing in Fenway. And
Sox, 3-0. Next game, Brewers-Cardinals. This is a whole series coming from August 9th to August 11th. Brewers-Cardinals, 2 top teams in the NL Central. What do you have having in that series?
I got the Cardinals. The Brewers have got the better bats, but in terms of experience pitching, it's going to the Cardinals. The Cardinals have the Brewers number.
Yeah. Cardinals are going to slow them down. I have them winning 2 of the 3 games. They're going to get a game up in that league, but the momentum is going to switch.
Yeah.
Yankees-Angels series, also happening from August 9th to August 11th. Another key series. Angels need to pick up room in the AL West. Yankees need to stay in competition in the AL East. What do you have happening there?
I got the Angels beating the Yankees. The Yankees, I mean, they're a good team, but they're still without A-Rod. Jared Weaver becoming one of the best pitchers and one of the AL players of the year, but it's going to be tough.
I have Angels sweeping as well. Angels are going to try and make another run. They have great pitching, and the Yankees are coming into a tough stretch. Speaking of that tough stretch, then from August 12th to August 14th, immediately after the series, it's Rays-Yankees. Who do you have winning that series?
I got the Yankees. The Yankees are going to be coming home after tough road work, and the Rays, just too much inexperience there.
I actually have the Rays winning this 2-1. The Rays seem to pick it up against the Yankees. I have them winning that. Now, NFL preseason. Ravens-Eagles. What do you have happening there?
I got the Eagles winning the game, but to me it's going to be more about the players and seeing how Deshaun Jackson, seeing how the Eagles use their new toys.
Yeah, I have the Ravens actually winning 2017, but I have Nnamdi Asma, those shutdown corners. I have the Eagles defense showing well. The Ravens really get the win with the 3rd and 4th strings just doing nothing. All right, Bucks-Chiefs. What do you have happening there?
Bucks are going to be all over the place on the Chiefs.
I actually have Chiefs winning just because the Bucks don't have a lot of depth. Again, that's the Chiefs winning in the later with the later competition. But I think the Bucks are the better team. Now, Pats-Jaguars. Who do you have?
I got the Jaguars just because the Pats are going to basically play all their best players in the first quarter, but then the Jags are just going to take it all the way.
I actually have the Patriots winning because they're going to have Chad Ochocinco and Albert Hainsworth staying there for a little bit longer than usual to get a little more time, get a little more used to the system. I have the Patriots winning that just because they keep those guys in longer. All right, Saints-49ers. Who do you have winning that?
I got the Saints winning. I got them. I got Sproles playing hard.
I have the Niners winning only because I think Harbaugh is going to come out there and want it more. And the Saints don't really care about preseason.
Yeah.
They're still going to be, I still think they're going to be better than the Niners in the regular season, but they don't really care about preseason. Now, our last matchup, Packers-Bears, great rivalry. Who do you have winning?
I got the Packers. Just because... Actually, no, I have the Bears just because the Packers are going to come out a little bit soft and Bears are going to be playing to win and prove a statement.
I actually think the Packers are one of the most deep teams in the league. I have the Packers winning this one as well.
Yeah.
So this has been the 5th episode of Scooby in the Field.
I'm Scooby.
And I'm the Field.
See ya.